closer. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another late night edition of Get the Tables podcast on this Wednesday evening, January 22nd, 2020. And we thank again Hill by Nature for allowing us to be on their YouTube channel once again. Appreciate that very, very much. And let's jump right into it. I'm your host, as always, Tony, with my co-host tonight. We got the bizarre one, Dave. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
Doing all right.
All right. So, we again appreciate everyone popping in. If you're new to the channel, just hit that follow button. We always appreciate that. Or you can follow us over on our Twitter at Get the Tables as well. Pretty
shucky, ducky, quack,
early bits there.
quack.
Appreciate that as
Have
always.
a great show. Ya filthy animals.
Thank you very much. Hill by Nature asked if we would like to pop on with you guys again on Wednesday night, so we figured, yeah, why not? Since Saturday night will be very, very, very... Hey, thank you. Get your streams for the host there. Appreciate that, man. It'll be very, very, very WWE heavy on Saturday night. For obvious reasons, they got the Worlds Collide show on Saturday night, Royal Rumble on Sunday, SmackDown as well on Friday. So we'll be covering all that on Saturday night. So we figure, hey, why not do AEW Dynamite anyways? Get it out of the way since it'll probably not be talked very much on Saturday night. So, pretty stacked card tonight. Just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what went down tonight. We had SCU take on Kenny Omega and Hangman Page for the AEW World Tag Team titles. We had MJF take on Joey Janela. Priscilla Kelly take on Britt Baker. We had, of course, Pac and Moxley for the number one contender spot. And Jurassic Express taking on the Inner Circle members of Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. So, let's jump right into the first opening match, Dave, which was the tag team title match, which was SCU taking on Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. Dave, what did you think of this match? Did you enjoy it? Where we did see new tag team champions crowned. What was your thoughts over there, Dave?
I thought the match was good. Maybe a tad too long for my liking. I get people want long matches, and you got these four out there, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the match that much. I just couldn't get into it. To me, it just felt like it wasn't clicking for me, but it was still a good match. I'm sure a lot of people calling this match of the year or something like that, greatest tag match they've ever seen and all that stuff.
I didn't see that. I didn't see those.
Well, okay, fine. Maybe they didn't, but I assume because it's AEW and Kenny Omega, it's the greatest tag match I've ever seen. So, I mean, I
would say it was a pretty solid tag team match to open up the show. They gave it a 60-minute time limit. I guess that's how all time matches are going now, I'm assuming. And they gave them a great... Sorry, I need to turn my notifications off on my phone. I'm sorry about that. They gave them a good amount of time out there. I think they went over 30 minutes, maybe just about 30 minutes.
I'm sure if Meltzer was there, he's going to give it like 5 or 6 stars or something like that.
I'm not sure. I think Meltzer is there. But overall, I thought the match was pretty damn solid. I have no complaints. I think every guy shined in that match. Everybody got some offense in. Kazarian and Hangman kind of went at it for a little bit. We also had Scorpio Sky go out there and perform like we've been saying for the past couple of months about Scorpio Sky, that he really shines in that ring. And I feel like he could benefit from a singles run. Now that they lost the tag team titles, do you feel like they'll get their rematch eventually, or do you think maybe SCU will end up going on his own? I'm sorry, Scorpio Sky end up going on his own?
See, that's an interesting question, because this is kind of history making for AEW, because it's the first title change in AEW history, so we'll see. They've only been around for like 6 months, 5 months, or 4 months, whatever it is, but still, it's going to be interesting to see how they do rematches and how they do stuff. Is there automatic rematches? Is there a rematch?
You're right, because they haven't really touched on that very much about rematches or stuff like that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if SCU has a rematch clause or not. you would have to assume so. That's usually how it goes. The loser gets a rematch. But I have really no complaints about this match. I thought this opening match was perfect. Even the ending sequence with Hangman Page doing his finisher outside the ring to Scorpio Sky, then going back inside the ring and doing it on Kazarian to wrap up the match. But to furthermore with this, though, Dave, because they've been really teasing a lot of tension between Hangman, not so much between him and Kenny Omega, but it seems like there's more tension between him and the other Elite members. And I'm really pointing out the Young Bucks, because we did have an interview later on in the night with Shivani and Hangman Page and Omega, and Shivani's kind of not ignoring Hangman Page, but kind of looking past him, more worried about what Omega has to say, because even at one point he asked Hangman a question and cut him off mid-sentence to ask Omega about Pac. But to further along with that, we do get the Young Bucks coming up there and trying to celebrate with Hangman and Omega, and you could tell that Hangman's not really feeling it very much, and even to the point to where he says, I'm surprised Omega and I won the tag team titles before you did. And you could tell there was it wasn't a joke. It was him being pretty serious. Of course, he's drinking, so you can play on that he's drunk or whatever have you. But what do you think is the end game with this? Now that we see them win the tag team titles, looks like we're going to get the rubber match between Pac and Omega. What do you think happens with Hangman and the rest of the Elite members? Do you feel like he turns on them very soon? Maybe we get a little bit of a lengthy title run with him and Omega. What's your thoughts on that?
See, I was going with you before, but the other day I watched the Being the Elite where they showed Page and Omega when Omega was kind of changing in the locker room with the Bucks when they were going to have a tag match in that No More Contenders last week. It was kind of before the thing. And Paige said, hey, can you not change with them and hang out with them before our match against them tonight? Can you come hang out with me and do our own thing? And so it made me start, I almost tweeted this or even messaged this tonight in the chat room, but I didn't. I was going to save it for now. I think what they're doing is they're going to have Paige more so turning Omega against them and kind of being on their own as a team, which I'm sure other people probably think the same thing. But it just kind of dawned on me, like, I bet you that's what they do with this. Omega's going to kind of turn on the Bucks and turn on the Elite or whoever else is in it and just be Omega and Paige, kind of be their own thing. And I was surprised they won the tag titles because I thought they were going to continue, like we've talked about, continue this Omega and Paige feud. But now I think it's going to be more about them against the Bucks.
Yeah, I think we're going to eventually see that match.
Probably Revolution.
Probably, yeah. If that's if we get the Hangman and Pac on a Dynamite instead of the Revolution pay-per-view. But I don't mind your little idea there, where maybe Hangman tries to persuade Omega to go against the Young Bucks. He's going to have that decision eventually when they do have to face him for the tag team titles. When that time comes. What's up, Truth and Loyalty? What's up, Alice Noob? How you guys doing? Babaruski, Beef Stew, how you doing tonight? Yes, I know the Spurs are playing tonight. I'm recording the game, but I do appreciate that.
And really quick on the flip side of this, look, nothing against Scorpio Sky, but I'd much rather see Kaz and Daniels teaming.
Okay, to me, Scorpio Sky seems more of a singles wrestler. Not saying that his tag team title matches are bad, or tag team matches are bad. I just prefer him more as a singles competitor because he really seems to work better as a singles wrestler, in my opinion. I could, you guys can disagree with me. That's fine with that, but
I don't think he's really done too many.
What, singles matches or tag matches?
Singles, because he's been more of with these guys. Because I think they were even people in the chat room would correct me, but I think they were 6-man tag champions. And Ring of Honor, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it was somewhere else. Maybe they have a 6-man, but I know they've been as a 6-man team or a 3-man team, whatever. But Yeah, and if we do get trios titles, they might fit for that, and then give them
It
those
was Solo
titles.
very much, and wasn't he? I know Wrestle Circus isn't around anymore, but wasn't he the world champion at one point?
Yeah, because
Wrestle
remember,
Circus?
everyone's favorite, the last
Tessa,
Wrestle
right?
Circus show, him and Tessa, champion versus champion.
That's right. That's very true. Good point there, Dave. Now, don't forget, everybody, we will be live once again on Saturday night. It's going to be our Worlds Collide recap, plus Royal Rumble predictions, plus rumors and innuendos. We'll go over all three of those categories on Saturday night. So it might be a little bit of a lengthy show, but good news, everybody. We will be going live a little bit earlier than our usual time, which is about 10:20 p.m. Eastern. We'll be going live after Worlds Collide is over. So it'll probably be about, 9 Eastern? I believe.
Maybe. It depends how long the show is and how long they give everyone.
Right. So we'll let you guys know for sure on a time on Saturday, but we will be live on Saturday. Also, we will be doing our little bit of our Royal Rumble game as well. So if you are interested in joining that, please be here on Saturday. We're going to go up to 30 people. So whoever wants to join in will have their random number selected for them. I'm still trying to decide if I should do number 1. Do you think it'd be fair to have a number 1 number, Dave, or should we just go from 2 to 30?
You know what? I know you're doing this as a giveaway, but it's too bad that we can't all get on this, because I think this would be a fun thing. Like, have everyone get a number drawn and whatever. I think it'd be fun to all play this
Dave,
game.
You know what? You can do it. I'll let you be in it. If you win, you can pick who you want to give the winner to. How about that?
Because I think all of us should try to do is just even if we don't put any money on it, just for fun. Just everyone pick a random. That's the number you get, and whatever if they win or whatever. You know what I mean? I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll see how many people join in on Saturday, and then we'll go from
Or
there.
do a separate drawing after we do this. Do something separate for just fun.
Yes, Impact is back on Twitch, everybody. Breaking news, Impact is back on Twitch. You may have to refollow them, everybody. I had to refollow them.
Yeah, I did too.
So just in case you didn't know, Impact is back on Twitch, and you might have to refollow them if you haven't already. Plus, yes, Impact Watch Party next Tuesday. We will be live, so get ready for that. Impact Watch Party next Tuesday night. Mark it on your calendar. Hey, what's up, Big Tables Fan Club? Peck and Rod, how you doing? Ganicus is in the house. Truth and Loyalty, I think I already said hi to you. What's up, or what's up? All right, let's move on, Dave, to the next match. So overall, opening match, pretty solid, no complaints?
Yeah, I mean, really quick, thoughts and prayers go out to people in Seattle right now. I mean, geez, another shooting.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, in Seattle. It's on Twitter right now. Downtown Seattle shooting.
Well, that's horrible. There was a shooting here in San Antonio just not too long ago.
And there was one yesterday, too.
Yeah, it's craziness. The world is crazy, man. Good thing we have things to talk about to keep our minds off that. Man, that was a quick ban. The chick that showed her bits got more. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, it all depends on how many strikes you've already had already. So, Impact, I believe that was their first strike, so they're going to get a little bit of a lenient side on it. And also...
they're making a little joke about it, too.
Yeah, it is what it is when it comes to Twitch and who they ban and how long they ban people. Who are we to say? But yes, it was a very quick ban, and I think Impact learned their lesson very quickly. Yes, another one says Beef Stew. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next match, Dave, where we saw a women's match happen, where we saw Priscilla Kelly take on Britt Baker, and a little bit of a change here. We did see Britt Baker pick up the win, but we also saw her kind of do a heel turn, where Tony Schiavone gets into the ring afterwards to interview her, and she just kind of bashes him. Schiavone says the ending of the match was questionable, but it was a good win nonetheless. Baker takes the mic and says he doesn't need him to judge her. He's a good guy. Baker then says before Tony worked for AEW, he was just a shitty barista at Starbucks. Baker tells the crowd she's a role model and a dentist. Also, she says she's the best looking woman on the boat. She keeps talking trash to Tony, and that's when they sent us during a commercial break, pretty much still when she's giving her promo.
Yeah, they buried her.
It was
they buried her.
Yeah, that was very, they kind of threw her off. Oh, well, we're going to get away from this and go to commercial break. Like, the way they went to or cut to a commercial break while she was still talking was a little bit odd. But I think we could all agree that Britt Baker as a face wasn't working, and that this heel turn needed to happen. And another thing that we can all agree with on this is her mic skills are absolutely garbage. I know, I forgot who, Sean Ross Sapp of all people, who I like his content, but I disagree what he had to say. Said he thought the interview or post comments were good. He thought it was came off well. Not everyone's going to sound the way you want to sound. You want them to sound on TV. But
is he on the cruise?
I don't think he's on the cruise.
Oh, okay.
But I felt like she was absolutely horrible. She's not comfortable on the microphone yet. Which, you know, who are we to say, you know, being in front of people like that and millions of people watching on television, how we would feel in front of a microphone. But she just doesn't feel like she's very comfortable. And the reason why we kind of give her more slack than the other women is because she was the one who was the main focus when they first began as AEW. You saw her at the press conferences. She was the first woman that was signed by AEW. So you thought she was going to be the superstar of All Elite Wrestling, but she's been not even close to being that since her debut and her matches that she's had. She isn't quite ready for in-ring, I wouldn't say in-ring action, but to get that boost for a title holder, because she can't really do much of anything either in the ring or on the microphone, in my opinion. I thought the women's match was decent, not the best. But what was your thoughts on this, Dave? Am I a little bit kind of being too harsh on Mrs. Britt Baker?
No, I mean, I don't think she's the greatest in the ring, and I think a lot of us, even Mr. AEW, not that AEW, but Mr. Red Sox fans has even said that he thinks she's the worst wrestler they have there.
Right.
So, well, after last night watching Dark, she might not be. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad, and it was strange for them to just cut off like that. And I've never, unless they were going to do like a Chris Jericho thing where they came back and he's reading that list back in the old WCW day, but yeah, she's just gone. Which it makes no sense if you're trying to build her heel character. And I'm just so sick of the whole, I'm going to be a role model. I'm a role model. Oh, like, we're doing another role model gimmick. People are going to compare this to Bayley. I mean, they just are because of what she's saying. But, yeah, I mean, it looks bad when she's trying to become this new heel and they cut her off and go to commercial. I've never seen that ever done before, where they cut someone off like that and then they're not even, nothing more from them at all. And it's just like, what do you do? And that Tony Schiavone thing is actually true, but it was kind of backwards because before he did his podcast with Conrad, he even said that he worked at a Starbucks. So that was kind of funny.
Oh, so she was kind of throwing a little bit of a dig at him that he really didn't care.
Oh, it was true. He said he enjoyed it. He loved working at Starbucks.
I mean, not many women there on that boat, says Bob Aruski. That is very true. I don't know how many women are actually on that cruise, but that is very true. Chris Jericho Sausage Fest says gaining
Sausage Fest at sea.
She's not ready for a push for show, says Beef Stew. That is, I agree with you on that, absolutely. Get the Tables fan club says that is one of the problems, not having house shows. The talent do not get any time to work together and build chemistry. Rumor was that the women get about 1 to 2 hours before Dynamite to train. That just won't do it. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I can agree with you on that. That's a good point, though. Yeah, the house shows do help these wrestlers get more familiar with each other, try certain things out in the ring that they normally wouldn't do just put together. That's a very good point. But it should be more on AEW too as well to say, hey, all right, they make these matches a week in advance. Most of these matches are announced the night Dynamite is airing. I don't see why they can't from tonight till Wednesday night somehow get in that ring and, you know, work some stuff out.
Yeah, but the ring isn't set up until the following week, you know?
Well, there's, you know, AEW should provide stuff like that, you know?
I don't think they have, like, a performance center or, like, anything like that. All they have is their week-to-week show, and the ring is being traveled to each show. So there's really no ring to work at unless she has one at her house or goes to the performance center and uses that. I mean, that's the only ring they really have from show to show. They, like they said, like Get the Tables fan club said that, yeah, they don't have no house shows. The WWE, that's where you get a lot of those matches that you get on pay-per-views kind of rehearsed and done at these house shows.
Yeah, that's a good point. House shows don't do shit big money-wise, so they're not going to do it. They need maybe an actual local school somewhere and have people move to the States maybe. Yeah. See, that's really pretty much what I'm saying. That look, you can't put everything on AEW. If let's just throw some names out. If Britt Baker's facing Rio in a match one-on-one and they don't have very much chemistry together, it should be on them two ladies to figure out a way to go over a match. Yes, maybe the ring is not able for them to go into it and do stuff, but it shouldn't prevent women to go out there and kind of rehearse a little bit more instead of where these matches come off so bad at times because they look too rehearsed. It doesn't come natural. You know, the AEW Dark match that's going around, the footage with Diamante and Big Swole was the ending of the match where they're just throwing kicks and missing and ducking them. It looks so bad that you just forget about maybe the rest of the match being good. So it's just they need to work on that, especially with the women, because the women matches have been. I think you can probably name maybe 3 good women's matches since they have debuted on Dynamite, and that's about it. They really lack in that women's division, and I don't know if you want to put a lot of. I know we talk about NXT and the women's division being so damn stacked, but you have to give some. What's the trainer's name, Dave? Her name.
Sarah Del Rey.
Yes, you have to give her a lot of props as well because she probably helps these ladies out. Where on AEW's side, they don't have that. They don't have her to go to and have them work with her and get better inside the ring. It's Omega, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe they need to bring in a prominent old vet who is a woman to help them out with matches because it seems like whatever Omega's doing, it's just not working out.
Yeah, maybe that's why we complain about this too, but maybe that's also why they let them take bookings outside of AEW so they can kind of, still stay in ring shape and kind of still working in the ring a little bit and stay in act. Not saying they need to be in ring shape, but to stay active like that so much. Because we talk about Impact all the time, and they don't do like this, but they don't do 1 week tapings each week. They do like multiple tapings, like in 2 a day for like 3 days or 2 days. So they're constantly in the ring working like that. And plus they're always taking other dates too. So yeah, I mean, you're right. Sarah Del Rey, or Sarah, I can't think of her actual name, but she's one of the big key reasons why the NXT Women's Division is where it's at right now.
Yeah. So
I'm sure Shawn and Triple H have some says and the guest trainers too work with them a little bit too, but yeah, it's not Sarah Connor.
They don't have that veteran over on AEW side, and they need to maybe invest in getting one. Maybe like I doubt you sign with them. You never know. Maybe like a Trish Stratus or a veteran who knows how to help help train these. I don't know, someone that what they wrestling
for a long time. Fit Finlay was the guy who was training a lot of those women who couldn't wrestle worth a damn.
Natalia, yeah,
she would be a great fit.
She would be perfect, but she's kind of locked up right now, and she would.
Oh yeah, if she's going to train anywhere, it's going to be NXT. It's not going to be anywhere else.
Yeah, that's a good one though, Stu. I'd give you that one. All right, so let's move on to the next match of the night, which was the Jurassic Express taking on the Inner Circle and the members of Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. We had little Marco Stunt in his little life jacket there. We had Jungle Boy looking good, and Luchasaurus as well. The fire.
Not Marco.
Made the list.
Thank you for the follow there, Poncho183. Appreciate that. Sarah Amato, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Truth and Loyalty. Now, the funny thing was they had fireworks. I don't know whose genius mind was this belonged to, but they had fireworks on the damn ship, and the crowd was it's probably like a foot or two away from the damn fireworks popping off. you would say, oh, that's not bad. You know, it's just regular fireworks. But it was windy. So the fireworks were just flying everywhere. I think Jungle Boy got hit in the face with one of the fireworks as well. So maybe not a great idea for next time they have it next year, where they did announce next year that they will have another one of these Jericho cruises. And this time AEW Dynamite will be live. So that'll be fun.
How that's going to work. They better be anchored somewhere with some satellite feed.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes next year. They were hoping for Mercedes, but it didn't happen fast enough, said Bob. Ooh, see, that would have worked. I agree with you on that. Fireworks had to have hit Jericho. Oh, yeah. It probably hit a lot of the wrestlers. I wonder how much of the crowd got hit. They were probably too drunk to even notice. But what'd you think of this six-man tag match, Dave, where we did see the Inner Circle win again? Luchasaurus shines once again. They're still teasing his feud with Hager. I don't know exactly when that match is ever going to happen. They've been
probably
teasing
never.
it for forever, it seems like, but they haven't had an actual match yet. And we got Jericho pinning a Marco stunt to end the match. Is there anything you want to come out and say about this match, or you just want to move on?
I thought it was a good match. One thing I want to talk about I thought was really cool, very Nakamura-esque, when they were singing Judas, Jericho's theme.
Cool.
It was really cool. Yeah, that was like a cool moment right there. So the crowd was kind of all over the place because they were kind of cheering Jericho. I get it's Jericho's cruise, but yeah, it was kind of strange when he's the heel, but he's getting cheered. But yeah, it's a little different, but whatever. Smart fans, they know it, but whatever. I didn't think the match was terrible other than Marco Stunt being in it. But, I mean, that was about it. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good match overall. I enjoyed some of the stuff they did with Luchasaurus and Jericho, and Luchasaurus just, you can't stop the dude because he's so powerful. So it's like nothing they could do to him would stop him. That's why he should be on his own in the main event, I think, or somewhat just wrestling on his own, because he's like a star in the making.
Oh, we will, Bobruski. I want to talk about that. Don't you worry. I got my thoughts on this match. Screw Marco Stunt, says Noob, a Red Sox fan. How you doing? What's up, Hill Tires? I'm going to ask you two questions after this match before we run through the other matches. But what is your thoughts on Marco Stunt in particular? I saw a lot of people on Twitter defending Marco Stunt. You got Bob Ruski, who's a Marco Stunt lover. I'm sure there's other people in the chat room who like Marco Stunt as well. But if you're a fan of wrestling, what do you think Marco Stunt provides for the average wrestling fan?
Make relief.
He's just a comedy guy?
Yeah, that's all he is.
You don't think they'll ever try something legitimate with
what?
him?
He gonna beat? Honestly, the shit they kept talking on Twitter with Jericho, I just thought he was about to roll up Jericho and beat him. I was like, we're gonna get Marco Stunt versus Jericho for the AEW title next week. Now watch. But I mean, just something stupid. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like him that much. He does. To me, he's like Orange Cassidy. He's just a comic relief guy.
Breaking news. If it's no spoilers, please. No NXT spoilers, please. We would really appreciate that, Red Sox fan, because I see you typing all in cups. Please, no NXT spoilers. We have not watched NXT yet. If he was 6'5", they'll be falling for him, says Bob Aruski. Do you agree with him on that?
Yeah.
I can't look now. How Red Sox fan gonna watch Royal Rumble? What a bitch! Look at this guy.
It's one of the coolest events of the year, though. So yeah.
Now, who the fuck watches NXT? Oh, fuck off, Red Sox fan. Now, here's my question for you. I don't know much about Marco Stunt. I know is obviously small and is, like you said, comedy relief and can do the flippity floppity flips and stuff like that. But do you feel like they need to start separating Luchasaurus from Jungle Boy and Marco and kind of let him go on his own and maybe have him periodically team up with them every now and then?
Maybe Jungle Boy, but Marco, because I could easily see Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus as a tag team, even possibly being contenders for the tag titles. Right. You know, because I could see them being a great team. But yeah, eventually I would like to see Luchasaurus go off on his own and become a star, because they're already building him as this monster that you can't hurt him. That's what they're already doing to the guy. It's like, man, Because anytime Santana Ortiz would hit him, they would no effect on him at all.
Those two are staying as a team. He'll never be a Spike. Says Truth and Loyalty because Bob Ruski mentioned if didn't Spike hold the title. If they make a Cruiserweight Championship or some type of a Lightweight Championship, you would have to consider Marco being one of the favorites to winning that title, I think. But I don't know if the AEW...
Give me Darby Allin.
If AEW would ever consider bringing in that type of title. You're talking about Archer might be heading to AEW. That's the
I heard about that.
Rumors going around about Lance Archer possibly signing with AEW, which would be a huge get for AEW because we've said this many times. They're lacking in the big man department. They only really have two guys, as in Hager and Luchasaurus at the moment.
Can you count Hager, though? Because he never wrestles.
Well, I mean, he's on the roster, so you have to consider.
But he does nothing.
But it's going to be interesting if they actually do sign him and see what they actually do with him. So I'm looking forward to seeing him more on American television. That'd be nice. Now, let's move on. Oh, no, sorry, the two questions for you. Now, we heard throughout the night tonight a lot of muting the crowd because of the things that they were chanting either towards passing boats or to the wrestlers themselves. I think at one point they muted the whole half the match because of what the fans were chanting. Definitely in the main event as well. Did that shit annoy the hell out of you? Because it didn't at first, but then you could really recognize it a lot more throughout the night, especially in the main event.
Yeah, because it kept sounding like there was audio issues because they kept kind of cutting in and out. It would be like, because they kept trying to mute everything. It was annoying, yeah. I was just like, man, enough with this. I'm ready to mute my TV.
Was AEW on Twitch like Impact? Why the bleeps? The bleeps because they were probably saying some pretty bad stuff, I'm assuming. Probably some F-bombs. Shit wasn't bleep, so I'm pretty sure if they were yelling something with shit in it, it wouldn't have been bleep. But it probably was some pretty bad shit for them to actually mute the crowd, which they really never do. Even when they're live, it seems like they don't mute the crowd at all very much. If they do, I don't notice it. But tonight it was constant. That's all you heard from commentary. Them talking and then they would get muted, talking and muted. It was just got a little bit it was a little bit overboard at some points. It was just kind of bad. But what the fuck, Dynamite usually lets them fly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's weird. They must have been saying some pretty bad stuff. Impact got banned. Impact is back. Impact is back. Heel tires.
Before we move on, I got a question. I liked it, but did you like the setup of everything?
Yeah, that was my next question. Did you enjoy the whole cruise ship episode? As in the format, the design, the stage, the crowd. Did you enjoy how they set up Dynamite tonight on the cruise ship?
Yeah, I really did. I thought it looked different. I mean, with the wind blowing out there, being on the sea, the look of everything, I thought it looked cool and it stood out. And that's what I think it needed to do. I mean, they were still kind of calling it like a little bit like Bash at the Beach a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I thought it looked cool and it was a great presentation, a cool thing, just a little look inside, the Jericho cruise, which is like really cool, I think, is a cool concept. And yeah, I liked how it looked, and I thought it looked awesome, and I really enjoyed just the atmosphere of everything. Even though sometimes it felt like the crowd was really silent, like not really doing much at all, but that could have been because they're on the ship like that, maybe because the sound wouldn't stay in like you would in like an arena or something. Right. So it would travel. So that's possibly why it didn't sound the greatest.
Oh, we already touched on the Britt Baker match. No, we did not enjoy the match. We talked about her in extreme detail about how she needs a lot of help in ring and outside the ring. When MJF was leaving, you could tell what they were saying. Said Steven, yeah, they were pretty bad. She made Priscilla Kelly look like a bloody tampon. Said Red Sox fan. I wonder if next year somehow they'll hold matches inside if a boat is tall enough. That's a good question. Now, seeing how big the cruise ship was, that's nowhere near everybody that was there in the crowd, right? There had to have been people that weren't able to see.
There was upper decks too.
I wonder exactly how they had that, because I don't know if they have a full estimate of how many people are on the cruise ship itself.
Well, how many people do you think are on the ship?
I don't know. I don't know how cruise ships
You
work.
had to guess how many people were on that ship. What? You think there's like 5,000 people on the ship? I don't.
No.
You know,
I would say
maybe 1,000, maybe.
Trillions of people, says Beef Soup. I would say at least 1,000 on the cruise ship itself.
So if you have that spread out, plus they had upper deck seating too for people. So I mean, I could maybe everyone was there, maybe not, maybe 500 people, maybe.
I wonder how they did that. Like, did you have to buy a special ticket to get a ticket?
I would assume
Dynamite?
no. Since you're already on the fucking cruise, why you got to pay more to see this fucking wrestling show?
Yeah,
I would say
that's how they make their money. People
think so?
probably just went on this cruise to get drunk. That is absolutely true.
I would think if you buy a ticket to this
I
cruise,
would say percentage-wise, Dave, and people in the chat room can and vouch on this as well and answer if they would like. What is the percentage of guys or gals that just went there to either enjoy the cruise ship or they're big Fozzy fans?
I don't know if there's like I don't know, just 1,000 Fozzy fans. I don't know, but man, it's.
Because you have to assume some people that went on that ship didn't go because they're big AEW fans.
I would assume that's why, because it was an AEW basically event. I think that's why most of the people went on there is for AEW. I thought you were about to ask me.
Watson. Okay, that's a fair.
What's the percentage of male to female ratio on that ship? I thought you were about that.
Oh, I'd say about 90% male. That's
okay.
Absolutely for sure. That's not counting the AEW women that are on the roster.
Yeah,
just cruise ship as well. But yeah, I'm curious to see how many people actually went on that cruise ship. Next time they need to rent Sympathy of the Seas cruise ship. I don't know enough. Look, I'm not a guy that would ever get on a cruise ship unless it was absolutely emergency type of thing. Me in the ocean, unless I'm swimming in it, I'm okay. On a boat where I have really no control, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine where I'm at right now. But props to those guys wrestling. I can't be easy wrestling on a cruise ship. With the turbulence and stuff like that can't be easy.
Especially for the wrestlers to be you're basically trapped with a bunch of wrestling fans on a ship for like however long to do this. I mean, you can't get out and do anything.
Right? Yeah, you get fucking
get
stored
away
by fans. Yeah,
I wonder how they have.
Yes, exactly. The cruise ships and me don't get along very well. Have you ever seen the Titanic? Have you ever seen what's the other movies? Perfect Storm. You know, all those crazy ass shits that happens. You know,
there must be a shitload of security.
You know, all those type of movies.
There has to be a lot of security on that ship, because how do you separate from the fans and the wrestlers? Are you able just to go right up to them and talk to them?
Sure there's a block that's scheduled, cut off with the other. It costs $1,600 for a ticket on the cruise. They better not charge extra.
Shit,
watch the fighting. That is yeah.
If I'm paying like over $1,000 to get on the script, you gotta pay $50 to watch this show now.
It's not scared of sinking ships. It's scared of the water and what's in the water when you're out that deep. Have you not seen what lives in the water, Red Sox fan? There's fucking sharks, hammerheads, eels, and all that type of shit that can stab you and bite you, and salt water. Like, that's not cool, man. I'll pass, brother. I'll pass.
You never went swimming in the ocean before?
Yeah, that's fine. But you can go to a certain limit, Dave. On a cruise ship, you're like miles and miles away from any type of land. So it's like a little bit scary there. Are you going to talk on Asuka escaping a mall shooting on Saturday? Yes, sir, we will. Have you not seen what lives above the water? That's true as well. That is very true as well. Good point there. Seeing
so you're not a Jaws fan
during the match would have been hilarious. His truth and loyalty. That would have been quite the scene there. All right, let's move on. Sorry.
So you're not a Jaws fan, then, are you?
Well, I don't mind watching the movies because it doesn't affect me in real life. Next, we did have another singles match between MJF and Joey Janela. What did you think of this match, Dave? Because I thought it was a pretty solid match between the two guys.
Until they did their shitty WWE ending.
Oh, threw him in the pool.
Come out, make out on the crowd, and then, I'm distracted. Move, miss, match over, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I mean, the thing was that, that was a little bit kind of bleh. But the match itself between Joey and MJF was actually pretty good.
Hopefully, I guess Guevara maybe wrestling on Dark, or if he's even there, I don't know, because I hope we get to see him. I'd rather see him wrestle, honestly.
And the thing is with Joey Janela, he's the walking, talking, comedy guy that everybody likes to hate on. Says that he's just a deathmatch type of guy, and that all he can do is smash tables and light bulbs over people's heads.
Well, that's all people want to see him do.
For the most part, yes. But I think he's trying to prove more and more to people that he's not just that gimmick, that he can go out there and have good singles matches. And I think tonight
But it's his fault.
was another one of those nights where he actually kind of proved himself that he can go inside a ring with an actual, regular wrestling match.
Well, I say it's his fault, though, because he's the one who made people like him like this and turned himself into a deathmatch guy, and that's where he got his fandom from. So, I mean, if he's gonna say, "Well, I can be more than a deathmatch guy," well, that's what made you famous, but you're mad that people only want to see you in deathmatches? I mean, come on.
Fair point. He had a damn nice match with Phoenix. See, I didn't see that match. I was just fucking shocked he beat Phoenix. Like, whoa, that's a pretty huge win. I guess I thought they were gonna do a lot more with Phoenix, but I guess apparently not yet.
I would assume Joey's gonna bring in another girl for him, and then they're gonna do this whole battle off where he'll have a girl and Kip has a girl, and they're gonna just do their whole little battle off. I'm guessing.
Let's see. Kip and Janela is a perfect storyline to go on TV. I didn't even find out that happened to Asuka until this morning from her tweet. Not anywhere else. Kind of disheartening. It didn't make big news. Hope people aren't getting used to these shootings. Well, there was another shooting tonight, Marion Watson, before we came on to the show. Penelope Ford is Beef Stew is a fan of her. Seems like.
Well, I think everyone should be a fan of her, but yeah.
AEW is still teasing a mixed tag match between Omega and Rio, taking Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. I don't know if anybody saw this. Bob Ruski tweeted it out to us after the match was over that AEW apparently kind of spoiled the tag team title match. They ended up deleting the tweet, but if you caught it quick enough, it kind of announced the match between Penelope and Kip taking on the new crowned tag team champion Kenny Omega and Rio. So we'll see when that will happen. But yeah, they kind of spoiled it. But
Kenny and his girl versus Kip and his girl.
Yeah, there you go. What happened to the Shawn Spears and Joey Janela feud? That's a good point there. I don't know. I guess they just kind of abandoned it. It's been over for a while, I guess, after the whole rope shit. They just kind of abandoned it from there.
I mean, they just abandoned Spears in general.
Yeah, a shame. Very talented guy, Dave. Shawn Spears is, and they're just leaving.
He was, and I know everyone kept saying he was the most underrated guy on SmackDown. I think he was on SmackDown, and then he never got used, and he finally gets his break. And it's like he's doing the same thing. He's just not there on TV. He's there, and everyone thinks he's really good, but he's just not being used. Just like on SmackDown. He was never used.
About time SCU is still as fuck, says Red Sox fan. They had a last match on Dark. Oh, really? I'm guessing Janela went over then. That's why the feuds. It's crazy how Shawn Spears... all this hype behind him, being the chairman. He comes down with a bang with the Rhodes and knocks him over the chair and makes him bleed. And it was the talk of the town for a little bit and didn't go anywhere. It's crazy. Khan has taken over of creative, says Red Sox fan. Really?
Yeah, I mean, he must know because he has all these AEW sources, so he would know.
There you go. All right, let's move on. So next,
I took back with the Lions suck or something like that.
Next, we did get Chris Jericho joining the commentary team. Next week, though, they announced some of the matches. We have Private Party and Darby Allin taking on Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. We have the Young Bucks taking on the Butcher and the Blade. Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford taking on Cody with Arn Anderson. And finally, we'll hear from the new number one contender, who will be Jon Moxley.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert there. What you said that you're excited for this card.
Yes.
I'm not. I'm not very excited for this card. I know you said you're excited to see the tag match, but if the Butcher and the Blade weren't already destroyed, I think I would be more into this match. But they have booked them so poorly that I don't give a shit about this match, to be fair. And I feel like we already know who's going to win, the Young Bucks. That's my gripe about that match.
I could go through watching Raw and SmackDown and tell you who's going to win every single match.
Fair.
It doesn't still think it would be a good match. I mean, we're going to watch the Rumble this week, and Roman Reigns is probably going to win it, but we're still going to watch it. But, I mean, look, I think the tag match could be really good. The Butcher and the Blade are a good tag, or at least good enough tag team to put on a good match with the Bucks. And this is the kind of team that the Bucks need to face so they can have a really good tag match, I think, to prove that they're more than just spot guys, which they are. They're more than just a bunch of spot guys, which I think this would be a really good tag match. And I also, like the other matches, like that six-man tag was good. Cody and Skip, I think, will be great.
Wow, okay.
I mean, I don't know, maybe it won't be great, but I think it'll be really good because, I don't know if it'll be a great match, but I think it'll be a good match because I don't think a lot of people have seen Kip Sabian wrestle, and they're going to be in for a surprise on how good he is.
All right, fair point there. Fair point as well. But yeah, so some of those are some of the matches that they announced for next week, which they'll not be on the cruise ship. It will be a live AEW Dynamite. So let's get to the main event, Dave, where we did see Jon Moxley take on Pac in the number one contender match. The winner will go on to face Chris Jericho at Revolution. What did you think of this match? We had Moxley still wearing the eye patch over the eye. I enjoyed this match. I really don't have too much of an issue with it. They fought all over the cruise ship, went to the crowd a little bit, fought on the upper deck a little bit.
That was during the break. Yeah, I mean, I kind of missed it, but yeah.
We did end up eventually seeing Moxley get the upper hand, hit him with the paradigm shift, and it's over. So we will get Jericho and Moxley at Revolution. What did you think of the main event tonight? Did it fulfill what you thought you were going to see? Was the match good? What was your overall thoughts of Dynamite's main event tonight?
I thought it was a good match, very predictable, because everyone went into this knowing that Moxley was going to win.
Okay.
I mean, because they did. I would like to see Pac win, but they're already setting up, because even Kenny said earlier that you're going to get your match. I talked to management. You're getting your match. Don't worry. Just be patient. So we talked to Cody and the Bucks. Hey, we're going to give him his match. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it was good. I was hoping Pac would have won because I would much rather see it be Pac and Jericho, even though they're both heels, I get it. But because I think they're giving us Moxley and Jericho too soon. Unless Jericho's going to go plan and go off and do something else for a little while and then come back. But because you got to give Moxley the title after all this. I mean, it would only make sense to just give him the belt right now and just let him run with it. Because otherwise, it's like, I almost think it's too soon. This would be better at one of their summer pay-per-view. Either it's going to be All Out 2, I don't know, or All In, or whatever it's going to be called. But I would much rather it be something like that instead of having them do Moxley and Jericho right now. Because to me, they're hot-shotting this too quickly, I think. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could be way wrong, and maybe they'll do it, and who cares, and no one will care. But to me, it's like they're slim at the top. Overall, they have a good roster, but they're slim at the top. Because who else do you have to feud with Jericho? Say Jericho beats Moxley. I mean, who else is there?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, they haven't really built that next guy up.
Can't be Cody.
Yeah, it can't be. So they haven't really built that next guy up after Moxley. It could have, you could say maybe Pac, but he lost to Moxley, so you can't just automatically throw him into the title contendership. But yeah, they haven't really built up that next guy. There's guys that they have on the roster that they can, they can build up to be the next guy in line, like Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus or Scorpio Sky, or just name a guy that.
You could do that, but
been a successful.
I mean, tonight.
career.
they took two of their main eventers and just made them the tag champions. So you took two guys who could have been feuding here for the title, even though we just seen Kenny and Jericho a few months, almost. That's been a while, but still, within the last 12 months, we've seen Jericho and Omega, but it was one match. So, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But still, and we just seen Paige and Jericho, so maybe you didn't want to go that route again. So, I get it, but it's like, yikes. I mean, the only person Jericho hasn't beaten out of the group is freaking the Young Bucks.
They should have gave Jungle Boy and Jericho a real short run after that one match and then got into this Shroom Goon.
Yeah, I would have mind that if they have Jungle Boy's going to get a title shot at a pay-per-view. Can he do it? You know, type thing. And then a couple months, maybe Double or Nothing 2, if that's what they're going to do. Then you could do another title shot when Moxley first debuted at Double or Nothing.
We forgot about Phoenix. We forgot about Pentagon.
Yeah, but they're a tag team. Are they going to be in the singles run now?
Well, I mean, Phoenix just had a singles match as well, but he just lost to Janela. So
yeah, did he just tell he loses to Janela? He's going to get a title shot now.
Phoenix is fantastic. I don't know how he walks on the ropes like nothing. Yeah, Phoenix is amazing. Another guy that we thought would definitely shine. I feel like I'm not gonna say they're underusing the Lucha Bros, but man, I thought they would use them a lot more than they have been when they were signed to AEW.
They could always go this route too. Jericho or Moxley beats Jericho at Revolution, and if the signing happens, here comes Lance Archer. Omega and Archer have history in New Japan, so that would kind of tie in a little bit.
Or you can throw in maybe Pentagon as well to go after Moxley. It would be very interesting to see if Moxley does win, and we get the rematch with him and Jericho, who would be next in line for the title. It still seems Jungle Boy isn't comfortable promo-wise, says Babaruski. Wasn't Phoenix injured? I couldn't tell you. I don't think he was. What the F happened with Pentagon and Christopher Daniels? That's another one. Archer is a big get. If they get him, that would be huge, and that would make a lot of sense to have him show up either at Revolution or at the Dynamite show the following night.
Yeah,
or Moxley. That would be pretty huge.
Whenever those other guys are free, who's to say one of them don't show up? I mean, it's like they're freed up, like Harper and Moxley are not Harper. What is he? Brody Lee now? Mm-hmm. So Brody Lee, which will be hard to get used to. Sorry if I call him Harper once in a while. If he does show up there, I don't know when his contract is up, or when he can officially go wrestle somewhere on TV. But yeah, that would be interesting too to see him just pop in and Moxley standing there.
Yeah, Brian Cage is another one as well. Yeah, that's another guy.
Torn bicep.
We don't know what is true or not. If he has a torn bicep or not, or if he's signed with AEW or not. We will find out very, very soon. Him and Harper can be a tag team, says Red Sox fan. 90 days comes up very, very soon, next month for Harper. So
okay.
We'll see if he shows up at Dynamite anytime soon after his 90 days are up. Cage, Harper, and Archer, all guys who can work with anyone. Absolutely, 100% agree with you on
Cage,
that.
Look, I love Cage and all, but he needs to stop with some of the stuff he does. He really does. I mean, man, because these cruiserweight / X Division style of wrestling he likes to do. I mean, man.
Well, Babaruski made a good point, and when he was on Speeds' show, and they were mentioning about Brian Cage, and the thing with Brian Cage is he's awesome to watch. He does some crazy ass stuff, especially at his size, but he's so injury prone that he might want to kind of chill out a little bit and relax on some of those high fly moves that he does. Maybe kind of bust them out every so often instead of every single match. I know that's what makes him unique and popular with the fans, but he needs to tone it down a little bit because it seems like every time he has a match that is dealing with a guy that is smaller than him and it's going to be a lot of high-flying moves going down, he gets hurt. We know there's apparently a rumor of him having a torn bicep, and that's why we didn't get the match at Hard to Kill. Or, when he faced Morrison at the pay-per-view a couple of months ago, where they did the backflip off the stage onto the ground, and he hurts his back.
That was Homecoming.
Right. So it just seems like, look, I don't want to say, hey, I want to see that go away totally because that's what makes him badass. But maybe kind of tone it down a little bit and not do so much of the high, crazy risk moves. But stick to like the Hurricane Ranas, the Canadian Destroyers, the Moonsault type of stuff.
Please stop
instead of doing the stuff that will really, possibly could really hurt him, you know?
I mean, fucking Tony, I cannot believe you skipped this unless you're saving it for last.
What did I skip?
MJF.
Well, we kind of touched on it. You said you hated the ending.
To MJF's.
Yeah.
Ending.
You said when
you
didn't like how they threw him in the pool.
No, I didn't. We didn't talk about the pool.
Oh yeah, you're right. We didn't talk about that. Okay, yes, we did. We did skip that. Go ahead. Finish what you had to say about Brian Cage, though.
Yeah, I mean, Cage is great, but I just think he's a big guy. You don't expect to do this stuff. Maybe that's why he stands out. But still, yeah, I think Cage would be a great addition if he goes. Which apparently his wife said he hasn't signed nothing.
She wants to keep him on those Impact watch parties. He's big as fuck. Either stop the moves or maybe get less buff, says Bobruski. I mean, he's like 300 pounds. He doesn't get hurt doing all that wild shit. That's what I'm saying. He needs to tone it down a little bit. And now that you said something, he will get hurt again, says Truth and Loyalty. Cage contract don't go past the second rope. Should be in his contract, says Shroom Goon. I want to see Archer bust out a moonsault, and Mark's going to be complaining, said Red Sox fan. If no one's going to be complaining. No one complains when Luchasaurus does it. I just think it's with Brian Cage, he needs to kind of just settle it down. That's all. Brandy Rhodes can have a great match with any of the women in the.
Speaking of Brandy Rhodes, we didn't get her tonight.
Yeah, because she wasn't able to get on the cruise ship because of her passport, I guess, getting stolen or something around those lines. So, yeah,
that's right.
She
tweeted about that, didn't she? About her not being there. That's right.
Right. Didn't Taya say John wasn't linked up with? Yeah. John Morrison also denied his signing with WWE as well. Now, let's continue on because we did forget to mention this, where we did see MJF grab the microphone and started, talking shit about Cody Rhodes once again. Cody Rhodes ends up coming down to the ring, starts, teasing Cody Rhodes, saying that, I can do whatever I want and he can't touch me. He did the little lisp thing. And says, all right, you know what? I'm the salt of the earth, so I'll let you have what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. Tries to hand him the mic. Of course, MJF, the asshole that he is, drops the mic before Cody Rhodes can actually grab it. MJF says, all right, go ahead and pick it up. Cody goes to pick it up. He kicks the microphone away from him. So he's just being a big dick. This is the way MJF is. Yes, he flipped off a guy that was dressed up as Jesus in the crowd. And he ends up trying to leave. We got the Young Bucks coming out. They hit him with some sweet chin music, as JR would call it. How dare him? How dare him, Dave, disrespect that move name? How dare him say that? No one compares any super kicks to the greatness of Shawn Michaels. I don't give a shit who you are. All right? The guy that created that move, you don't compare his super kick to anyone else. All right? Anyway.
Then tell everyone to stop ripping off Petey Williams then too.
Well, I'm sorry, Petey. You're just not as great as Shawn Michaels, all right?
Like, everyone keeps using the Canadian stories like it's a fucking headlock.
Anyways, I don't know who Chris Adams is. You talking about the beer maker? Chris Adams? Truth and Loyalty, the beer?
That's Sam Adams!
Oh.
What the hell?
MJF sells finishers as dramatic as The Rock. It's awesome, yes.
Oh my god, will people stop taking that move so terribly? Maybe that's the idea they want him to, but holy shit. It's just... you're not supposed to do it like that. I mean, you're just supposed to roll over, not pop up like it's a fucking DDT or something. I mean, jeez.
What is your thoughts on the whole MJF segment with Cody and him getting tossed in?
I liked it. I thought it was funny. The whole stuff with Cody, him and Cody was great. And then I guess, of course, you knew someone was coming out. Either it was going to be Arn giving him a spine buster or something like that. Mm-hmm. And of course, they're not going to show a pool on live or not live, but whatever, on the show and not see it get used at all. So you knew someone was going to get thrown in the pool.
Oh, Red Sox fan. You're an asshole. How's is your team cheating some more, Red Sox fan, and still not doing shit even though they're cheating? How about that? So fuck off.
Was he an Astros fan now?
He's a Red Sox fan. Which is even worse. They were cheating and they still lost. Shawn Michaels Superkick has its own name, exactly. That's what makes it so unique and so special.
It seems like JR is even trying to draw back his old lines and try to reuse them.
Music. I mean,
business is about to pick up. Business is about to pick up here. The Jericho was good on commentary. Jericho was good on commentary, but the rest of it was kind of blah. I mean, I did like the part where Excalibur kissed the ring. That was hilarious. I was like, really?
Sweet ball music. Get the hell out of here. Y'all are such haters. You know what? Fuck off. Because you know what? Royal Rumble is just around the corner. You know who made Royal Rumble famous, Dave?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Shawn Michaels made Royal Rumble famous from all the dramatic finishes that man has had, from going number 1 and ending it by defeating the British Bulldog. He did end up going to WrestleMania and losing, but that's that's here or there. But he had some of the most memorable moments in Shawn Michaels'
you know what?
history.
I know this is off topic, but I always thought this, and I never got an answer. I've asked people. I never got the answer to this, but what if we change history and Shawn Michaels did get eliminated in that show? How much different would the Bulldog's career have been?
Yeah, it would have been different. But
if he would have got the time.
Shawn Michaels held on.
Okay, but I get it. But I'm just saying, what if they would have given the Bulldog the title shot and actually let him win it and run with a world title? How much different could his career have been? I mean, to this day, it might have been way different.
Oh, yeah, him getting knocked out by Mike Tyson. But he took one for the team, Red Sox fan. That's being a company guy right there. Not a lot of guys are company guys, just saying. What do you guys think of Excalibur on commentary? I think he's great. I like Excalibur. I have no complaints whatsoever towards Excalibur. I like him as a commentator. He's the guy that can analyze and tell you what's going on in the ring, especially guys like me, who's not very up to date on the BTE. He can kind of explain storylines that may have been further along on the BTE than on actual TV. So I like Excalibur. The only thing is the Shivani and Jim Ross tandem just doesn't work. They're the same type of commentators. Both need to be the leading role. Not guys that they ask questions to get their wrestling opinion. That's not working out. The best commentary tandem they could have had was Taz, JR, and Excalibur. Of course, they're not going to get that. Who is Taz teamed up with on Dark?
I would assume Excalibur.
It's just him and Excalibur. That's got to be pretty good. I would assume. I like him. He has his off moments like every other commentator. Yeah, I don't really have any issues with Excalibur. Ever since he's started with doing AEW shows or the All-Ins and the All-Outs and all that, I felt like he's done a fantastic job.
Hey, if people don't like Tony Schiavone, that's fine, because you can blame Cody Rhodes for that. Because Tony was on his way back to the WWE.
Oh, was he?
And Conrad told Cody that, and Cody called Tony right away and said, "Don't go there, come here." And he did.
I wonder what was Schiavone going to be doing?
I don't know, something where he was going to be heading back doing something for him. And then all of a sudden Cody called him and said, "Come here," and he got it, and he went to AEW.
I thought Swole and Diamante, I didn't see the whole match. I saw the ending sequence. It was awful.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. He knows like half of the roster thanks to PWG, says Bob Aruski. Of course, this question for everyone except Tony, says Red Sox fan. What a... God damn it, man. What an asshole. We'll be back again on Saturday night with all you lovely folks. Worlds Collide this Saturday, stat card. We also have the Royal Rumble this Sunday night. We'll do our predictions for that. And hopefully more women will be entered into the Royal Rumble, because right now there's only like 5 that have declared for the Royal Rumble.
I don't want to know in the Rumble.
Also, we have a couple of matches announced as well. So we'll see how that goes on our predictions on Saturday. We'll have all rumors and any windows going down, possibly rumors of people signings, new signings, certain spots and stuff like that. We'll have some other things to talk about as well. So it'll be a fun Saturday night. And then Sunday night, everyone. Sunday. We'll be live right here, right after the Royal Rumble. The show has no timetable of ending on any types of label. We'll be ending whenever the fuck we want. So, I spelled Discord wrong. So if you guys want to join us on Sunday and give your thoughts on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, please be here on Twitch to discuss everything that goes down. I'm trying to figure out a way to maybe try to take some phone calls. That way you guys can call in and, rant about certain things that happen on the show that you don't like or maybe you loved. So we'll do that on Sunday night. If anybody knows any suggestions on that, on maybe a place to, have people, an app or something to have people call in, please let me know. I'd really appreciate that. The only one I know of is Skype at the moment. But
Just give them all your phone number.
Yeah, that would be smart. I know you get sick of the ratings talk, Tony, but my assumption is AEW probably beats out NXT.
Really? That's your assumption?
You know what? I think they do. I think AEW.
I think it'll be closer this week though, just because it's live and NXT. The only way they're going to compete with AEW is when they have put on a big NXT takeover like show. Whenever they tonight seemed like it was a pretty good night. Not saying it was takeover like, but there were some big matchups announced for tonight's NXT. That's the only way they're going to come close to AEW. And plus, it was taped tonight, and there wasn't a lot of big matches on there tonight. So it's possible they come close to AEW, a little bit closer tonight. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm way off. But with them being live and having a big title match and Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi Blackheart. I mean, the 2 rounds of the Dusty Classic were tonight too. So, I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. So it's possible that they come a little bit closer. And if they do, people can just say, well, AEW was taped. So that's why, if people watch it live.
I think AEW wins again. It'll probably be a little bit closer this time since NXT did have a title match. The 2 tag matches as well. We had Yo versus Toni Storm as well that you forgot to mention about. So it was a pretty big card tonight over on NXT. So I do think they'll get a little bit closer. I don't think they'll win. I do think next week they have a shot.
Why?
Only reason because it's the fallout to Royal Rumble. And maybe some unpredictable stuff can happen on that episode of NXT. I know that we're getting the finals of the Dusty Classic next week. And I'm not sure. I know they announced another match, but I can't remember. So it's going to be a huge show next week for NXT, especially if we see maybe a NXT guy win the Royal Rumble possibly. So it could
that'd be huge.
It could be a big show for them next week.
Or someone who wins the Men's Rumble or Women's Rumble. If they show up at NXT and just kind of how you get who you're going to pick, and they did something like that, like a big star or something like say a Kevin Owens. Say Kevin Owens wins the Rumble. It probably won't happen. And he shows up at NXT just because he can challenge for that title too. Maybe they add that to the mix where you can go challenge for the NXT title.
Yeah, so that's something to very, very to keep in mind this weekend. No, there's not a takeover this week. As Worlds Collide. It's a tournament that usually
pretty much a takeover.
It's pretty much a takeover without the takeover name. Worlds Collide is something they do during WrestleMania Access, but this time they're having it before the Royal Rumble. It's basically NXT UK taking on NXT, so that'll be this Saturday. And
even that pre-show match looks good.
We got Undisputed Era taking on Imperium. We got Toni Storm taking on Rhea Ripley. So it should be a pretty good card, and we'll be what is the matches, man? I gotta go fucking Wikipedia it real quick.
I know the pre-show match, which it has history because Kaylee Ray is the one who knocked off Mia Yim off that ladder, so that's gonna be a pre-show match.
All right, here we go. I got the matches right here. We got Imperium taking on Undisputed Era, Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm, Finn Balor versus Dragunov, Angel Garza, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Jordan Devlin, and Travis Banks for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. DIY taking on Mustache Mountain. That should be a damn good match.
Yeah.
And then the Mia Yim versus Kaylee Ray match to round it up. So it's a pretty solid card for Worlds Collide on Saturday night. Looking forward to it. Yeah, thank you, Speeds. Yeah, follow this channel if you're new, you bastards. Appreciate it. Thank you for the new follower from Poncho183. We do appreciate that very, very much. I was gonna go to the Rumble, but I work the next day, so I can't. Oh, that sucks, brother. If you are in the Houston area, I would definitely try and go to the Royal Rumble. It's a fun experience to be there, counting down and guessing who's going to be the next guy coming out. So if you live in Texas and you are near Houston or have the money to travel and go to Houston, definitely go out and check it out. It should be a fun show.
You can watch Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns in a False Count match. Yeah, Dragunov is so freaking good. I mean, him and Balor.
We talking about that. I was talking about the Royal Rumble per se, not the damn matches that are happening. But yeah, our boy Speeds will be there. So I'm sure he's gonna have a good time. Royal Rumbles are always fun. I'll be at the Raw the night after the Royal Rumble, so I'm excited to see what all goes down there. Kind of a little bit of a spoiler alert here. They did announce a double main event. So you know a double main event meaning there's going to be a real main event and then the dark match. The dark match that they're announcing here for San Antonio is Owens, Joe, and Rey Mysterio taking on.
That's probably the dark match.
Taking on Rollins and APA. So yeah,
because they would have announced that already, don't you think?
Yeah. Brock Lesnar is supposed to be on the show on Monday. Becky Lynch is supposed to be on the show on Monday, for obvious reasons. So yeah, they have announced.
They're definitely not paying Brock Lesnar to do anything dark. So, I mean, he's coming out on the show.
Yeah, Bork Laser too. Red Sox fan says, watch somebody cheat at the Rumble. It only fits well in Houston.
Oh, mic drop.
Get the fuck out of here. Throwaway show in a throwaway city, says Red Sox fan. God damn, what the fuck is your problem? What's all the hate? Did you say Rollins and APA? Did I say APA? Did I say Rollins and APA? God damn it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You know, Stephanie McMahon was on the bump, and they asked her if she's going to be would she ever consider being in the Women's Rumble?
And what did she say?
Said you never know.
Oh,
which is surprising we've never seen her in the Royal Rumble.
Well, now she is now. Fuck, now that they've mentioned it.
Yep.
But we'll talk more about the Royal Rumble on Saturday. We thank everybody for joining us tonight. We do appreciate all of that. Again, thank you for Heal by Nature for having us on their YouTube channel once again. 3 weeks in a row. Not sure if we will be there next week. We'll let you guys know via Twitter. But we do appreciate them for having us on their YouTube channel on Wednesday and asking us to do the AEW recap shows for them. We do appreciate that very, very much. And hope to do more work with them in the future. We do appreciate everyone coming to Truth and Loyalty. We do appreciate everybody coming in here and hanging out with us tonight and dropping bits and interacting with us tonight. Very fun night. And we do appreciate everyone who came out and the new follower from Poncho tonight as well. We'll be back.
I say do it again.
We'll be back again on Saturday night once again. So don't forget, we'll be live right after the Worlds Collide pay-per-view, so it'll be a little bit earlier than our usual start time. So we'll let you guys know for sure what that time might be on Saturday night.
I say we do this again next week.
All right, well, it's either going to be AEW or NXT. I put a poll out on the Twitter account, and NXT won. So it was your idea to do AEW Dynamite tonight, or we would have been doing NXT. Next week, maybe.
I say we.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I say we keep it AEW. Yes, would I like to watch some NXT? Sure, but you know, our weekend shows, even though we would talk about it, make room about it. And we do rumors and news. Well, it just seems like that the rumors and news mostly cover WWE stuff. And we talk about SmackDown.
Yeah, BC says AEW on Wednesday, NXT on Saturday. And that seems like that thing that we might just keep doing. We've gotten a lot of new followers that way. I know a lot of people watch AEW and want to kind of talk about it. So we do appreciate you guys coming in here and chatting with us after the Dynamite show is over. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or here on Twitch if you haven't already. Join our Discord, everybody. That would really be awesome if you joined our Discord. We talk wrestling all night, all day, rumors, news, stuff like that. Just random stuff. We talk about that in our Discord chat. It's fun. Please let us join. And one more thing. This is to you, Red Sox fan. Ever since we started doing these shows on Wednesdays, AEW has been kicking ass in the ratings. So I think AEW has us to thank for that. I think we're a little bit of their help because we're giving them some good karma. But we do appreciate everybody who came out here. Thank you to all the new followers. We have hit, Dave, over 321 followers, Dave, over here on Twitch. It's amazing how fast we have grown in little under a year over here on this Twitch channel. So we do appreciate everybody who's hung out with us tonight. Thank you once more again to Hill by Nature for having us again. And we'll be back with you all lovely people on Saturday. Thank you from the bottom of our heart for coming out here and hanging out with us. And thank you for always interacting and helping us out on the shows. If we ever miss anything, you guys are awesome. You guys are why we do these shows every week, and we appreciate that very, very much. Steven will answer that question for you on Saturday because we can go on a tangent forever on that. Thank you, brother, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Love you all. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see all you lovely folks again on Saturday. Peace!